Okay, next up, I'm going to talk about the KPIs you should be tracking. Okay, now cold calling is a very important task, and I'm actually going to pull up the KPIs I track for my clients. Now, I do want you to write this down because you're going to have to pull this data out of your interface. I think these are the most important KPIs, and I'm going to explain it all to you and why. So let's dive in real fast. Okay, so in the back here, I have a breakdown of one of my customers that I recently met with. Now, they're having amazing results on their campaign, which we do love to see. But let me explain a couple things to you. So, first, we have dials, connections, and leads. Now, a connection is a contact. That's when somebody picks up the phone. We actually connect with the human. Okay, really important. Then we have leads, which that is someone that actually says, yes, they do want to sell. Right now, anyone that says yes, they want to sell at lead mining, we consider a lead. Now, we always ask those follow-up questions as well to try to keep you as protected as possible. And so you can get a feel for exactly what's going on with the lead. So all of these leads are yes leads and with some qualifying questions asked. So let's take a look here real fast. So we did 727 dials. 98 people picked up the phone. That's huge. Okay, he had a 13.48% contact rate. That is extremely important to take into mind. Then we got 11 leads as well. That is huge. We've actually averaged a lead in every 66 dials for this client. This is honestly a world record at lead mining. I just met with this guy yesterday, but that was the best we've ever done. So I do love to see that. Now, these are the things we want to look at. Okay. We want to track our dials, we want to track our connections, and we want to track how many leads we got. Those are the three most important ones to start. But we also want to track our wrong numbers. So here it says out of the 98 people that we called, 18 of them told us that we had the wrong number. Okay, that's still an 82% accuracy rate, which means 82% of the people we spoke to did own that property. These are amazing stats, and you should track them too. Okay, contact rate, very important. And down here, I have a guide on how you can understand contact rate. 7 to 9%, that says average questionable. That's actually pretty good nowadays if you have 7 to 9%. Here, good says 9 to 11%, and stellar, like the best ever, is 11% plus. So you could use this guideline when you're evaluating yourself as well. You want to be above 7% at a minimum. And if you're not, you want to look at your practices. Once you hit 6%, you're not talking to enough people. So this is why you want to track these statistics. And these are things I would do. Down here, I have some text messaging stats. And with text messaging, just because it's up here, I'll cover it with you. We track text messages sent, responses, that's all responses, and then the leads generated from those text messages. Now, another really ninja thing for you to be tracking. Okay. This is how I track my employees. So this is maybe more if you have a team or if you're hiring people. So two important numbers is dials per hour and leads per hour. So one thing I do with all of my employees is I track all of our dials per hour company wide, and I take our total hours and I divide them. I take our total dials that we generate and I divide them by our total hours worked. That gives me my dials per hour. This tells me the efficiency of my team. Then there's another statistic, leads per hour. Then I take the total leads we generated and I divide that by how many hours were worked. Now that gives me my leads per hour. That's my productivity rate, right? So one, we're going through, we get to see how fast we're moving. And the other one is we get to see how good we're doing. All right. So those are two very important KPIs that weren't on that sheet. But I'll recap here for you. We want to track dials made, connections made, and leads generated. Then we also want to track dials per hour and leads per hour. In there, we want to know our contact rate, our wrong number, and our accuracy rate. Okay, if we have all of these KPIs, we are going to know exactly what is going on in our business. Okay, and that is extremely important. And in the next video, what I'll do is I'll focus on what these numbers mean, what's a good number, what's a bad number. So that way, when you guys are going through it yourself, you can kind of track it for your own good. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.